Okay, now let's talk about the power operation. If a and m are whole numbers, then a to the mth power, which is written a to the m, is the whole number defined by a times itself m times. So the power operation is defined as repeated multiplication. A to the mth power is just a times itself m times. We also define a to the 0 is equal to 1. So for example, 2 to the 5th power, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 32. Or 10 to the 3rd power, 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000. Okay, and we have 3 rules of exponents, which most students just memorize. But when you just memorize a rule in math, it's easy to get it mixed up with other rules. And students frequently get these mixed up with each other in various ways. So I think it's a little bit better to understand why they work the way they do. For example, and let me just work this out for a few examples and we'll see why they work. So if I do, let's say, 2 to the 3rd power times 2 to the 4th power. Well, 2 to the 3rd power is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 to the 4th power is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. You see that's 7 2's in all. So that's going to be 2 to the 7th power. So you just add the exponents. Or again, if I do, let's say, 2 to the 3rd power squared, this is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So it's 2 groups of 2 cubed. And that's 6 2's in all. So it's 2 to the 6th power. Sorry, that was actually rule number 3. Oops. Okay, but let's do rule number 2. Uh, 3 to the 4th power times 7 to the 4th power. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. Well, I could rearrange this as 3 times 7 times 3 times 7 times 3 times 7 times 3 times 7, which is 3 times 7 to the 4th power. So I personally think it's better if you just really understand the rules rather than memorizing them, because if you forget them, you can always remind yourself which way it works by just doing a simple example or something. And that's how you develop intuition in mathematics. Okay, so here are the homeworks for section 2.4. As usual, please do your best to get these done by the next time we meet. We'll discuss anything you might have had trouble with.